Welcome to our spine-chilling countdown of the 10 most haunted places on Earth. I'm your host, and tonight, we're diving headfirst into the darkest corners of our planet. We're talking about places where the veil between our world and the next is thin, paper thin. Prepare yourself for a journey into the unknown, where the spirits of the past still linger. These are the places that keep you up at night, the ones that make the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. We're talking cold spots, EVPs, and full-bodied apparitions. We're going deep, folks, so buckle up, keep the lights on, and whatever you do, don't watch this alone. We begin our journey at the Tower of London, a place steeped in centuries of bloodshed and despair. Within these walls, kings have been crowned, and prisoners have been tortured, their souls forever trapped within the stone. One of the most prominent figures haunting this fortress is Anne Boleyn, the ill-fated wife of King Henry VIII. Beheaded in 1536, her presence is said to be felt most strongly on the anniversary of her execution, a white, spectral figure forever mourning her lost crown. But Anne is just one of many. The tower is a swirling vortex of tormented souls, each with their own tale of suffering and anguish. Visitors and guards alike have reported disembodied voices, the chilling sensation of unseen hands and unexplained temperature drops, a classic sign of paranormal activity. I've been to the tower myself, and let me tell you, the energy there is palpable. It's heavy, oppressive, like the weight of history itself is bearing down on you. The Tower of London stands as a stark reminder that some stains, some energies never truly fade, not even after centuries. Nestled high in the Colorado Rockies, the Stanley Hotel might seem idyllic at first glance, but beneath its grand exterior lies a darkness that inspired one of the most terrifying horror novels ever written, The Shining. Stephen King himself stayed in room 217, the very room where he claims to have encountered the supernatural. He reported seeing ghostly children playing in the hallways, their laughter echoing through the empty corridors. Guests have reported disembodied voices, objects moving on their own, and even full-bodied apparitions in Victorian attire. The hotel's grand ballroom is said to be a particular hotspot, where a ghostly piano plays on into the night, its melancholic tune sending shivers down your spine. The Stanley Hotel is a place where the line between reality and imagination blurs. It's a place where the echoes of past guests, both living and dead, seem to linger in every corner. Our next stop takes us to Philadelphia, to the imposing walls of Eastern State Penitentiary. This former prison, once a symbol of reform, is now a decaying testament to the horrors of solitary confinement. It's said that the spirits of former inmates driven mad by their isolation still roam the cell blocks, their anguish echoing through the empty halls. Visitors and investigators alike have reported blood-curdling screams, the clanging of cell doors and shadowy figures lurking in the shadows. One of the most haunted areas is Cell Block 12, where a particularly malevolent energy is said to reside. People have reported feeling physically ill, overwhelmed by a sense of dread and despair. Eastern State Penitentiary is not for the faint of heart. It's a place where the weight of suffering is almost unbearable, a stark reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human soul. Deep in the heart of Louisiana sits the Myrtles Plantation, a beautiful antebellum mansion with a dark and tragic past. Surrounded by ancient oak trees draped in Spanish moss, the plantation exudes an eerie beauty that masks its sinister history. It's said that at least 10 murders have occurred within these walls, their spirits forever bound to the grounds. The most infamous spirit is that of Chloe, a slave who is said to have been hanged from a balcony. Her image has been captured in photographs, a ghostly figure in a turban staring out from a window. Visitors have reported strange occurrences, from cold spots and disembodied voices to objects moving on their own. The Myrtles Plantation is a place where the past refuses to stay buried. It's a place where the spirits of the dead seem to walk among the living, their stories whispering on the wind. Our journey takes us next to the legendary Queen Mary, a retired ocean liner docked in Long Beach, California. Once a symbol of luxury and glamour, the Queen Mary now sails the seas of the supernatural, its haunted decks home to countless restless spirits. Among the most famous is the spirit of a young girl who drowned in the ship's first-class pool. Her laughter is said to echo through the empty pool area, sending chills down the spines of those who dare to venture there. But the little girl is not alone. Sailors lost at sea, passengers who met untimely ends. Their souls are said to roam the ship's corridors, their presence felt in unexplained cold spots, disembodied voices, and fleeting apparitions. The Queen Mary is a floating city of the dead, a place where the spirits of the past linger on, forever bound to the ship that carried them to their final destination. Prepare to descend into the depths of the earth as we explore the Catacombs of Paris, a labyrinthine network of tunnels holding the skeletal remains of over 6 million Parisians. Imagine, if you will, miles of tunnels lined with bones, stacked high, a chilling reminder of our own mortality. The air down here is thick with the energy of the departed, a silent symphony of souls. Visitors have reported hearing whispers echoing through the tunnels, disembodied voices speaking in languages long forgotten. Others have claimed to see shadowy figures darting amongst the bones, vanishing into the darkness as quickly as they appear. The Catacombs of Paris are a stark reminder of our own mortality, a place where the veil between the living and the dead feels thin as a whisper. In San Jose, California, stands a mansion unlike any other, the Winchester Mystery House. Built by Sarah Winchester, the heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune, this sprawling mansion is a bizarre architectural puzzle, a physical manifestation of her grief and fear. After the deaths of her husband and daughter, Sarah Winchester became convinced that she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. She believed that the only way to appease these spirits was to continuously build, adding onto her home day and night. The result is a labyrinthine mansion with staircases leading to nowhere, doors that open to walls and windows overlooking other rooms. But the strangeness doesn't end there. The house is said to be haunted by numerous spirits, including Sarah Winchester herself. Visitors and caretakers have reported seeing doors slamming shut on their own, disembodied footsteps echoing through the halls, and even full-bodied apparitions appearing and disappearing at will. The Winchester Mystery House is a place where logic is defied and the paranormal reigns supreme. Our next stop takes us to Gloucestershire, England, to the ancient Ram Inn, one of the oldest and most haunted inns in all of Britain. Dating back to the 12th century, this inn has seen centuries of history, and its ancient walls whisper with the tales of those who have walked its corridors. It's said to be haunted by a plethora of spirits, each with their own story to tell. There's the witch who was burned at the stake in the 16th century, her tormented spirit said to still haunt the inn's attic. Then there's the room where a former landlord is said to have murdered his wife, her bloodstains forever imprinted on the floorboards. Guests have reported feeling unseen hands touching them, disembodied voices whispering in their ears, and objects moving on their own. The ancient Ram Inn is a place where the veil between the living and the dead is thin, a place where the past bleeds into the present. At the base of Mount Fuji in Japan lies Okahara Forest, a place shrouded in sorrow and mystery. Known as the Suicide Forest, Okahara has a tragic history, and its dense woods are said to be haunted by the spirits of those who have taken their lives there. The energy within the forest is palpable, a heavy silence broken only by the sound of the wind rustling through the trees. Visitors have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, as if they are being watched by unseen eyes. Some have even claimed to have seen ghostly figures wandering through the trees, their faces pale and drawn, their eyes filled with a deep sadness. Okahara Forest is a place of quiet suffering, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of the human spirit. Our final destination takes us to Xochimilco, Mexico, to the unsettling Isla de las Muñecas, the Island of the Dolls. This small island, hidden amongst the canals, is not for the faint of heart. Thousands of dolls in various states of decay hang from the trees, their lifeless eyes staring out at visitors. The island's caretaker, Don Julian Santana Barrera, began hanging the dolls after finding the body of a young girl who had drowned in the canal. He believed that the dolls would appease her spirit and protect the island from evil, but the dolls themselves seem to have taken on a sinister life of their own. Visitors have reported seeing the dolls move their heads, their limbs twitching as if they are alive. Some have even claimed to hear the dolls whispering to each other, their voices high-pitched and chilling. The Island of the Dolls is a place of nightmares, a place where childhood innocence is twisted into something dark and disturbing. Thank you for joining us on this eerie exploration of the world's most haunted places. We've journeyed from ancient castles to abandoned prisons, each location more chilling than the last. But remember, these are more than just stories. If you dare, visit these locations and experience the paranormal for yourself. But be warned, once you open yourself up to the world of the supernatural, you may never look at the world the same way again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling content. Until next time, sleep tight and don't let the spirits bite.